Today's video, some of the most disturbing TikToks you'll find on the internet. Let's get into it.
The video I just showed you shows the last 2 seconds of these men's lives. This is 21-year-old Michael Owen and 20-year-old Kyle Careford. Michael and Kyle lived in the United Kingdom. They were best friends, and one night in 2015, they took a mix of illegal and prescription drugs. After they took these drugs, these two best friends decided to hop in a car and start driving. Along the ride, one of them started recording this drive, and there's some disturbing things that are happening. You can see that their faces are messed up from the drugs they've taken, and they're constantly pushing the speed limit as fast as they can go, going 90 miles an hour on tight, winding roads filled with other cars. At one point during this drive, Michael, who was a passenger in the car, started to say, "You're going 90, boys, slow down." But it was too late. While he was speeding, unlicensed driver Kyle lost control of the car and smashed the vehicle into a wall next to a church. And almost immediately, the both of them lost their lives. You can actually see photos of the impact zone right here from where that fatal crash occurred. Now, this crash was pretty big news in the United Kingdom when it happened, but Michael's mother went on the record after all of this and stated that she blames her son for the decisions he made that night. And she said that she's glad the video's out there so that it can stop future people from making the same terrible decisions.
This is one of the worst cases in human history. This is the murder of Christine Siluan. She was from the Philippines and was a volunteer in church, and she used the church every day from 4 to 6 p.m. On the day of her murder, she went to church as per her schedule, but she didn't come home after that. Her parents then started to worry, and they began searching for her with their neighbors. And what they found is absolutely horrid. They found her body in a farm where half her face was sliced like a piece of pizza, and her face was literally skinned down to her skull. Also, her brain was completely destroyed by acid. The police then started investigating, and they checked the cameras and found out that she was with a guy. The people started protesting about this case, and the case was then given to special officers. They had a lot of pressure on this. A week before this happened, she broke up with her boyfriend, so the police took him into custody, and he was proving that he was at home all day when she was murdered, but officers were completely tired of this case, and they then sentenced him as the murderer. But after a few months, a thief was caught in a store where he confessed that he murdered and raped Christine. He said he started talking to her on Facebook with a fake account and was using fake photos of another guy that was pretty good looking. Christine fell for the guy, and she assumed that he was about 20 years old, and they started texting daily. One day, they both decided to meet up at 6 p.m. near the church she went to. But upon arriving, Christine noticed that this was not the guy she was talking to, and he was around 40-ish years old. She then refused to talk to him and tried to go back, but he held her hands extremely forcefully. He then took her far away from town and raped her repeatedly and put iron rods inside her personal organs. He then cut her face in half and then skinned her whole head down to the skull. And to make it even worse, he put acid inside of her head. The autopsy also revealed that her tongue, trachea, esophagus, parts of her neck, and her right ear were missing. The self-proclaimed killer of this case, named Renato Lanis, said that he used barber-type scissors and stabbed her 30 times on different parts of her body and skinned her face. Christine Siluan was only 16 years old, and this case is extremely haunting. There's a picture of her body that was found in the field, but Google did a really good job of not showing it and hiding it. So even if you do go looking for the picture, I don't think you're going to find it. This is one of those cases that after you get done reading it, you just feel some sort of uneasiness. I feel so bad for Christine's family, and I can't imagine finding my daughter in this state. May Christine Siluan rest in peace.
That was really disturbing. I couldn't imagine, and I've heard that that's a true story. That's crazy. Oh, just graphic.
Oh, you're so so traumatized, it makes me wanna cry. You dumb motherfucker, I loved you, I loved you, I loved you.
Craigslist stories that should be wiped from our memory. Number 3, Michelle Wilkins. Warning, this is a really dark case. On March 18th, 2015, Michelle Wilkins, who was 7 months pregnant, responded to a Craigslist ad stating that they were selling baby clothes in Boulder County, Colorado. She arrived at Danelle Lane's home where they talked about her pregnancy, and a little later on, Danelle lured her down to her basement, claiming that is where the baby clothes were. On their way down, that is when Danelle attacked her.
Hit her up the head with a lava lamp, which broke in its thick glass. She took a piece of the lava lamp, Michelle in the neck with it, and as it was flirting from Michelle's neck, she choked her, pushed her down on the bed, held a pillow over her until she was unconscious, cut Aurora, the baby, out. Aurora by then was, and carried Aurora upstairs and laid her dead in the bathtub.
To everyone's shock, Michelle did survive this brutal attack, however, her baby did not. Danelle, with tears filling her eyes, was sentenced to 100 years in prison, and honestly, that is exactly what she deserves.
Mom, what's wrong? La 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 Elmer's red!
What the hell? You jump up acting like that, it's gonna be a punt. I don't think you need to worry about the orbs. Man, she looks evil. What do y'all think about that? Crazy.
What are you doing?
Can you imagine your dog doing that? All of us always asking what they're doing like they could talk. This ain't right. That hurts watching this. I ain't gonna lie.
Kaj je to? Bravo. Ček, to je to ono opet?
If that dude ain't with them,
Dobro, daj ju. Nemam pojma, daj ga šutni, ja ne znaš. Daj ga šutni.
Neću se. Mislim da je pijan.
Okej, mislim da idemo. Ajmo mi odavde, ajmo.
Fuck is...
bro's getting punched right in the mouth. I wouldn't deal with that crap. That is nuts.
Pa naravno da se vidi u faci, vidi se.
Nisam skužio, čekaj, kaj je bilo?
Anyhow, remember Dave.
Being Andy's favorite toy is the best thing ever.
To infinity and beyond!
Oh man, what happened to my Buzz Lightyear? It's a good thing I have a spare one.
A place like this.
There's a button here. Oh, where? It's flying around. Oh. So there are bats.
But then, just moments later, the atmosphere changes. From out of a narrow crevice in the rock, something begins to emerge. At first, it's unclear what it is. A strange motion, slow and deliberate. But then, in the beam of the flashlight, it becomes unmistakable.
Have you got your camera going?
Yeah, it's going now.
Okay.
Okay, Owen.
The hell is that?
Owen.
Okay.
I'm out.
I am, I can't go. I'm burning my hand.
A massive cave worm, its body slick and otherworldly, begins to slither forward,
Is that a
inching
dragon?
its way toward the two explorers. It's unlike anything they've encountered before, and its sudden, silent appearance freezes Irwin's friend in
Should have ate
place.
him.
Amazingly,
Look at that
neither
thing.
man panics.
Does that look like a small dragon? Is it real?
There's no screaming, no running. They remain calm, backing away slowly, quietly retreating from the creature, and eventually making their way out of the cave. The
I'll see
footage
how
is
they got out.
clear. The movement is real, and to this day, viewers are still debating what exactly they witnessed. Was it a rare species?
Warning: the following video is extremely disturbing. You've been warned.
Oh, it was weird. Crazy times. Hard to believe it really happened. Yeah, me and my wife went to the store, and we didn't even know what was going on, but we went to the store to get some groceries, and at the time we had 4 kids, and all the meat was gone. The place was packed. Went around different aisles and stuff, and everything was gone, and I remember turning to look at my wife as I watched everybody scrambling for toilet paper and everything, and I looked at her and I said, "What the hell is going on?" I'll never forget it. It was crazy.
This video is so disturbing that a number of people have fell ill after watching it. Proceed with caution.
One here smells great. Which one? Smells like Mother's crazy sister Kate. Oh, you think so? Yeah, I do. It smells so good. She couldn't have been that crazy. I don't think so. Oh, you don't think so, huh? No. Well, she put her poodle one time in a microwave oven to eat it. Yeah, to eat it. Oh, no. No, 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 silly. To dry it. But it exploded. And they were both found dead. She must have been out of her head.
It's a good thing the new pope's name is Leo, because if it was Peter, we would have been in trouble. There's an ancient document called the Prophecy of the Popes. And this document was thought to be written by an Irish bishop named Saint Malachy. And this document predicts the names of 112 popes from the year 1143 all the way to the end of time. And most of the things in this document are oddly super accurate, like referring to these popes' birthplace, their coat of arms, their personal background. And the last pope on this list is different. Instead of a motto, he gets a full prophecy. And this prophecy reads, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there shall sit Peter the Roman, who shall guide his flock through the many tribulations. When these things are finished, the city of 7 hills shall be destroyed, and the dreadful judge shall judge the people." The 7 hills, that's Rome. The Pope, supposedly the last one ever. And the judge, that's a figure that's supposed to be associated with the final judgment, but we'll leave that up to interpretation. Now here's the interesting thing. Out of over 260 popes in history, none of them have ever taken the name of Peter II. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it was out of respect and it was out of fear. Saint Peter is considered to be the first pope, the rock upon which the church was built. And choosing his name would seem highly symbolic. And some people believe that if a pope ever did decide to choose his name, that they would be fulfilling this prophecy and the end of an era. This prophecy only lists 112 popes, and Pope Francis was 112. So a lot of people thought that he was going to be the last pope in the prophecy. And since his name wasn't Peter, that the next pope would be Peter. But now we know his name is Leo. So for now, at least, the prophecy is unfulfilled. Come over here for scary videos.
This is
What do y'all think about all that? It's pretty crazy.
Yo Quiero Agua, one of the creepiest execution videos in the world, explained. The video that I'm about to explain is about 30 seconds long, and it's the creepiest and one of the most disturbing videos out there. And whatever you do, don't go searching for it. The video begins with a suspected cartel member with his face completely flayed and skinned, and he is still alive. Now, you don't see this happening, but you do see the aftermath. All of the skin on his face has been completely removed. Nothing that resembles facial features are there anymore. No skin, no lips, no eyelids, absolutely nothing. This video almost doesn't look real, but it has been confirmed to be 100% real. It almost looks like and feels like an 80s slasher film. Throughout the video, it's just his captors mocking him and having a good time enjoying the pain they inflicted on him. They ask him questions throughout the video like, "Do you want water?" which the victim replies, "Yo quiero agua," which means "I want water." The captors continue to just mock and mess with the victim throughout the whole video. It also looks like they skinned some of his chest off too, which I can't even imagine the pain. Now, the video is gory and hard to watch, but that's not really what makes this video disturbing. The video is just honestly extremely creepy. For example, how the guy looks after his face was skinned. The best way I could describe it is that his face was stuck in a constant grin, but he has no face. It's almost like they cut off his face in a way to make him smile permanently. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's an extremely messed up visual. Also, the way the victim sounds while he's talking to his captors is also extremely disturbing. His voice is just so raspy and it almost sounds demonic and not human at all. Now, we all know the video Funky Town, and people who saw Funky Town compare this video to it all the time. Now, it's not Funky Town disturbing, but it is extremely disturbing. All in all, it isn't a pleasant video to look at or watch, and I urge you to never ever go searching for it.
Warning.
Makes me want to go search it. Why would you say that if you don't want people to search it?
The following video is extremely disturbing. You've been warned.
This is Miss Pac-Man, one of the worst videos on the internet, explained. The video that I'm about to explain is about 1 minute long and it starts in a dark room. And the first thing you notice is the screaming in the background. The camera then pans to the floor revealing a severed hand, and it then pans to the bed which Alejandro Eco Chubb is on. The bed was soaked in blood and Alejandro had both of her hands cut off, and at this point you can see the full extent of her injuries.
Wow.
Alejandra had been hit in the face so hard with a machete that she had a horizontal wound going across her face that was so deep it actually reached her ears. The wound was halfway up her face, right in the middle of her nose, and it was horizontal, hence the name of the video, Miss Pac-Man, because the wound was so deep it looked like an exaggerated mouth. But the disturbing thing is, Alejandra is still alive, and at this point you discover the screaming in the background isn't her, but actually someone else in the house, and according to rumors and reports, it's actually her children. The camera then pans to her face, and it shows she is still aware and conscious. Her eyes moving across the room in complete pain and fear. You hear her struggling to breathe due to the insane amount of blood, and you hear constant gurgling as she tries to hang on to her life. You also hear her try to breathe, but due to the injury, it's extremely muffled. It almost sounds like a young baby crying. You also hear a male's voice behind the camera. Now, the question is this the neighbors who discovered her? And if it is, why in the world are they recording her? Or was it her partner who was responsible for this brutal murder? The camera stays on Alejandra's face for about 30 to 40 seconds, and you see her withering in pain. You hear her trying to scream, and at one point the camera goes closer to her wound, and at this point you see just how deep the wound really is. It's literally 3/4 of the way through her head. This is a very hard watch. You don't see the awful act committed on camera, but seeing the aftermath is traumatizing. Alejandra was pronounced dead after this video was taken. This video is considered one of the worst, and its brutality is compared to Funky Town, 3 Guys 1 Hammer, and much more. Nobody knows how this video ended up on the internet, and it remains a mystery. Whatever you do, don't go searching for the video or picture. It's way different than a regular cartel video, and it's more of a real-life horror video. A complete living nightmare for those in the room. Trust me, it will mess you up completely. Rest in peace to Alejandro Eco Chubb. This is absolutely sickening. And I can't believe people who do stuff like this exist.
I am not going to search that one up. That sounds pretty gory. And knowing this stuff is happening out there, man, it really drives you crazy, doesn't it?
That's Cleveland. Wow. That's crazy.
Gunshots.
It's not even that far away from here. Oh, that sounds like a shootout.
Chris has experience exploring everything from abandoned mental hospitals and sanatoriums to vacant occult temples, and he shrugs off the fear as he enters the creepy building. Just like in many abandoned buildings, Chris finds a mattress on the floor, meaning at least one person has been sleeping there recently. As he captures footage of the first floor and walks up the stairs to the second floor, all that can be heard in the eerie darkness is the sound of his footsteps. A few minutes later, Chris goes down to the basement, and the footage becomes increasingly creepier as Chris runs into a series of dead ends under the leaky, moldy ceiling.
Okay, I'm hearing something. Maybe it's an animal. There's animals down here.
At several points during his exploration of the basement, he can be heard making comments about a strange noise coming from somewhere on that floor, and at first he seems to think it's an animal. Alarmingly, he finds a few shell casings on the ground from what was probably a 9mm handgun. Although it would be pretty unsettling to find something like this lying on the ground in an abandoned factory basement, it's worth mentioning that police departments often use abandoned buildings and complexes for training exercises. However, in this case, it's impossible to know if that's really what happened. Shortly after, he comes across a series of disturbing messages on the walls. He continues recording as he walks down narrow corridors, and this is where things get a lot more disturbing.
This place is so wet. Oh, you scared the out of me. Yo. You need some help, bro?
There's a dude crouched down right there. If you were walking in a building and you walk up on that, what are you doing?
Yo.
Are you saying yo?
There's not many things that I find disturbing in this world. But this fucking new trend with these dogs transforming into whatever. Like I just seen one where the dog had like a head on its asshole and then a head in its private area. And then the normal head of the dog was a little kid's head. Like I wish they would get off my fucking For You page because they're extremely disturbing. Like, I think I'm gonna have fucking nightmares later. Like, I can't get it out of my head. Not one has been comical or cute. Not one. Move on to the next trend TikTok, okay? Move on.
Where do those imaginations come from for people to create that stuff? It's a little weird. 2 crimes caught on camera at once. Is that oil or?
So apparently this surveillance footage captured 2 crimes at once. The first crime being a kidnapping. The second
I could see that, maybe, but maybe not.
is committed by this lady who spilled a gallon of organs or blood. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
That looked like oil to me.
Disturbing videos from the internet. Number 4. A video titled Freaky Soup Guy was posted back in 2005 and shows a distressed man sobbing with a black bar over his eyes while he eats soup. 2 men in Ray Ray costumes are present in the room, begin rubbing the man's back and watch him eat the soup. The YouTuber Rainbot did a great investigation into this video. She even contacted Percy, who told her that most of the Ray Ray props, including the costumes, were stolen from their RV. Percy also claims that he was emailed with what is now known as the blank room soup video and says that there are more videos. And the video ends with this.
The hell was that all about? Any of y'all have any background on that video? I'm a little intrigued to find out what really happened there, if it was set up or what was going on. That was crazy.
UVB-76. Since the 1970s, a Russian shortwave radio station has been broadcasting on the frequencies 4625 and 4810 kHz. The station is still active, and depending on where you are in the world, you can still tune in to listen. For over 50 years, the station has been broadcasting a short, monotonous buzz that plays for 24 hours a day at about 25 tones per minute. This is what it sounds like. Before 2010, the physical station was located in a bunker in the town of Pavrovo near Moscow. But one day in 2010, the station went silent for about a day, and when it reappeared, the broadcast was coming from a different location in St. Petersburg. After September 2010, the call sign of the radio station also changed from UVB-76 to MDZHB. Since then, the call sign has been changed multiple times, and as of 2019, ANVF is the most commonly used call sign for the station. Much of what we know about what the original station in Pavrovo looked like is thanks to the testimony and images that was uploaded to different blogs and websites by several users who visited the station after it was abandoned. In 2011, a blogger who goes by the name of WASD uploaded hundreds of pictures to his blog from his trip to where the UVB-76 station used to be housed. After visiting, he said, "It is worth mentioning that the bunker is a quiet and deserted dark place, somewhat similar to a labyrinth with a bunch of corridors and rooms. It's better not to go there without a flashlight because there's absolutely nothing to light there. It's completely dark." As of today, the original station has been out of order for years. The buzz that can be heard in the broadcast is pretty unsettling in itself, and this is part of the reason why UVB-76 has become an extremely popular internet rabbit hole. At certain points during the broadcast, the buzz breaks up and a male Russian voice can be heard reciting encoded messages in the form of numbers and letters. Another detail that has caught the attention of listeners is that the frequency at which the voice can be heard reciting the encoded messages is not regular at all. This is what it would sound like.
Damn dog.
Amanda?
Let's smack that goat. Well, they claim their dog's already inside. I'm scared.
Flash is on. Alright, let's take a look. What do you think's in there? I don't know.
What's that down there?
I guess that.
These damn videos.
Hello.
It looks like
Everyone
a
beware
skinwalker.
because this is a new kidnapping technique. Watch the video and I'll explain after. According to the men, there was a woman walking down the street, calmly just screaming. She was screaming and crying and asking for help, but was very calm. When the guys left, they saw her just get into a car and they drove off. The guys went inside because they knew it was a setup. If they went to go help that woman, the car would have been right there and would have gotten the guys. Or mugged them, I don't know. Please, stay safe out there. This is so scary.
That kind of sucks because if you're trying to help somebody or somebody really needs help, how are you going to help them? You don't know what's real, what's not, and anything could happen out here. It's crazy. I'm the type that jumps in and helps, so I'd probably get attacked.
This next video comes from TikTok user MattHall36. The video features Matt at his work after hours filming some security cameras while talking on the phone with police. As he's doing so, you can see as some man is clearly shown disturbingly dragging a large unknown bag down the road. As he gets closer, the man shockingly drops what he's doing and full-on sprints towards the door, slamming his body into it. Matt, now clearly shaken, can be heard begging the police to just show up.
There's literally somebody
Wow, that's crazy.
inside, like, dragging a bag at my work. No, sorry, I'm just recording in case something happens. I can't see his face. Where's he go? He's literally running down to the door.
Forget recording. Get the hell out somehow. Get out of there. You know where he's at. There's got to be a window. Get the hell out. There's got to be a back door or something. Get the hell out of there.
He's coming up to the door right now. Is he? Ah! Oh my! He's
Ain't no way
outside
I'd
the
stick
door.
around.
He's outside the door right now. No, there's nowhere to hide in here. I'm literally, it's just this one room. The door, yeah, the door is locked, but... Oh my fuck. He's like behind the building now.
Exit that door now.
Can you just get here?
Following the first TikTok video, Matt would upload a second part explaining the whole situation in more detail.
Part 2. So yeah, I was working night shift at work, and the security cameras we have beep when it senses motion. It was pretty late at night and I heard the beep go off, so I went to go look at the camera. Somebody was dragging a bag right beside the building. I was pretty creeped out, so I went and grabbed the work phone and called 911. By the time I was on the phone with them, the guy walked up the road a little bit, but then he started to come back towards the building. This is when I started recording. After the video ended, he ran out of sight of the camera. I never seen him again after that. A bunch of cops came, they told me to stay in the building, and they searched the area for him. They said inside his bag just had a bunch of clothes, but some of the clothes had some blood on them, I guess. Anyways, they're gonna take that in for investigation. They took the security camera footage, and of course they sent me home that night because they didn't find him. But yeah, that's all I know so far. Hope that's...
What would y'all have done in that situation? I'm just curious. I know what I would have done, but let me hear it in the comments.
Good enough
Interesting.
update.
Missy Beavers was a fitness instructor and mother of 3. On April 18, 2016, she was scheduled to lead a 5 a.m. early morning fitness class at a church in Texas. Though, upon her arrival, she would never be seen again. As police investigated, they found out that at around 4 a.m., the motion-activated security cameras from the church activated. They showed an unidentified man oddly walking around the building holding a hammer. The man can clearly be seen checking rooms and walking back and forth down the hallways. Police believe this man is the murderer of Missy Beavers. Neither of the two have ever been seen again.
Dude is dressed in tactical gear. Maybe he works for the law enforcement or something. And maybe he's out doing his dirty deeds with those clothing on. Crazy. Wouldn't surprise me. What do y'all think about that? He looks like a police officer.
In 1582, the world changed. Quietly, but forever. Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar, the one you use today. 12 months, 365 days, leap years. But that wasn't always the system. Before that, many ancient cultures used a 13-month calendar, 28 days per month, perfectly in sync with the moon, with nature, with your body. 13 months, 28 days, 364 days total. 1 day out of time to reset, reconnect, to breathe. This system reflected balance. It honored the feminine, the natural, the spiritual. It wasn't just a calendar, it was a rhythm. But Rome had other plans. The 13-month calendar was scrapped. In its place, a system designed not for balance, but for commerce, control, production. They didn't just rewrite time. They severed humanity's connection to the cycles of the earth. Time became a trap. Not a flow, but a factory. Work, consume, obey. And most people still don't realize they're living inside a time system built by designers of control, not keepers of truth. But there's a shift happening. People are waking up, reclaiming their rhythm, rewriting their reality. Because once you control your time, you start to control your life. This is the way out.
Have you?
I strongly believe that the 13-month calendar is the way that we should be going. I like how it's set up and the way it sounds. And what we're going through right now is just miserable. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It's crazy times right now, and a day does not feel like a day anymore. A day feels more like a half a day, if that. And then when you go to sleep, it's time to get up. And you feel like crap when you wake up. I know I do. I'm having a hard time getting up. My body's stiff and everything. Waking up with headaches, lost, confused. Yeah, I'd rather do the other one. But we ain't going to be doing that, are we?
Heard of the Mountain Dew conspiracy theory?
Mountain Dew? No, I haven't.
This one's fun.
Let's hear it.
Every time Mountain Dew makes a marketing push for a new drink or a new flavor that they have, it coincides with a world event that typically isn't that great.
That's terrifying. Let's hear it.
So Mountain Dew Code Red came out in 2001.
I know what event happened then.
3 months later, after it came out, 9/11 happened.
This is not good.
Maui burst. Right after they dropped that, 3 months later, the wildfires happened in Maui.
Wow, that's crazy.
Are you ready for this one?
Ready.
The Star Spangled Splash came out last year. Do you know who wrote the Star Spangled Banner?
George Washington.
Francis Scott Key. What bridge fell last year in Baltimore? The Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Oh.
Yes!
3 months after?
That's kind of like immediately after that one. Pitch Black. A few years ago, we had a blackout in the IT world. July 19, 2024. Various IT systems around the world experienced an outage.
Mountain Dew dropped it and it went dark.
Yes. Another one. Tropical Swirl. Crazy hurricanes that wouldn't end in Southeast America just a few months after they dropped that flavor.
They also, I just looked it up, they're dropping a Mango Rush flavor.
Yeah.
That might be a flood.
It literally might be.
And you can only get it at Little Caesars.
Ooh.
So where are the most Little Caesars, Zach?
Did you look that up?
No, but we saw one in Houston, Texas.
So you think there's going to be a flood in Houston, Texas?
There might be.
Don't do this TikTok trend.
Wait, what is it?
So it all started in Arizona when kids would take tape and put it on the bridge of their glasses. Then at midnight, they would stare at the moon. But maybe for the last time.
Bro, what?
So listen, as they were staring at the moon, they were teleported to a room that had an eye exam. A man dressed in all black, wearing a monocle, forced them to do the eye exam. And if you failed, he would rip your eyes out. During the exam, you couldn't wear glasses. So the kids would have to manipulate light to be able to see.
How would they control light?
Well, it's the pinhole effect. If you make a small hole with your hands to look through, it will reduce the amount of light that hits your eyes. This makes what you're looking at way less blurry. The kids who did this were the only ones to escape.
Can't they just use echolocation?
And that is the end of the disturbing videos. And I've got to say that some of those were pretty disturbing and shocking, creepy, and mind-boggling. Let me know what you thought about this video. I'm going to do some more like it. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. If you come back, I can't wait to hear from you. See you, subscribe, hopefully, and join the family. Other than that, I hope because I'm doing this on Mother's Day, I hope everybody has a happy Mother's Day. And peace be to you. Have a good one.